So I'm going to share a theory of mine with you all today. I strongly believe that Mother Nature was birthed backwards. Now I'm going to explain what I mean by this. First of all, take the word woman, for example. Okay, so you have the W, then you have the O, and then you have man. Well, if you was to humour me for a moment and consider that the W would stand for with, and the O would stand for out, altogether you would have without man. Now, the opposite of the father is the mother, so that would be the woman without man. Okay? The divine feminine, as I've mentioned before in previous videos. So, the natural food chain of life is death. That might sound pessimistic, negative, but hopefully you'll see where I'm going with this as I go on with it. So, the natural food chain is designated and designed to cause a circular motion of elliptic, aesthetic, parasitical, violent suffering, rather than with a clean, quick kill from animal to animal, human to human. You know, there's no one behind the wheel of misfortune. There's no one behind the crystal ball except for the one it apparently takes place on. I mean, it's evolution, isn't it? Whether you believe in the word or not, evolution is never held liable because it's not considered to be sentient. Well, I disagree. If you do believe in evolution, then I don't need to go into it. And if you don't, just look at it, nature in itself, of itself. See, just by me saying the word self, it gives character to the fact. I don't see how a personality cannot be put in place for Mother Nature. Why is it called Mother Nature? Why not just nature? Where did that come from? See? We can't help it because we can feel it. It's alive. Okay? So moving on. Most don't see it this way, but then we're all aware that nature or evolution does make decisions. Now, if it's not alive, how can it make these decisions to give a certain animal a certain pattern or colour or instinct, claws, teeth, stingers? You see? Making choices. And yet we are forced, without exception, but always with deception, to comply as we feast down on those with the least and most inferior of creatures. And this continues and continues and continues until what? Until we ourselves are eventually swallowed up by a superior creature, the same as we have done to others. Some call this karma. But you would have to do this to stay alive, right? Animals kill to eat and to protect themselves, them and theirs. Well, we don't. We do, but we do it for many other reasons, most of them not being natural. Okay? So this is what I call the Ouroboros cycle of consistency. It's reincarnation into this matrix mother of the hive. You see, nature does not have to be cruel, but it does embrace it. Why? If nature is a factory of production rather than deformation, why does it create this cycle with such sadism attached to it? That's the question that I ask of you today to ask yourselves. This is just my way. So, in my humble opinion, I believe this is why you will see such sadism within the survival of other animals, especially the insect kingdom. Most of these animals aren't even aware of that sadism, but they don't need to be. They wasn't given the option to be by nature. Do you see? Let alone ourselves, you see. Yeah, so if you really break it down, it is Mother Nature that does seem to be the cause of every disaster, every catastrophe, every virus, every disease, and of whom have perilled from them, laid and been made deceased by them. You see, she's fundamentally an amalgam of all the seven sins rolled into one. And she hides under the guise of indiscriminate environmental beauty. Now, who does that remind you of? Oh,
Sorry.
no, baby, not you. Not you.
Wait.
No, you can be a devil in the bedroom, but
Wait.
it's not quite the devil that I'm talking about. So continuing, I believe that the supposed Big Bang would not have been the first thing to happen, but the last. Okay? Stick with me and bear with me here. To let there be light, there needs to be a formless void for it to shine upon. Okay? And this world becoming exactly that, more and more, a formless void. So when we discover lost ancient artifacts or statues, remnants or depictions or engravings, consider that they were fashioned through a retrospective and clairvoyance. Sometimes this has even been how they were found. So we are, in my humble opinion, remembering that what happened once before is what is now going to happen once again. So this is why the spiritual battle against that old dragon, that ancient serpent, as it were, that took place in heaven does not state if it ended or has yet to even begin. My theory is that Genesis is actually Revelations, and Revelations is actually Genesis. Might sound like sacrilege, might sound like blasphemy, might sound like heresy, but you know, if you watch my channel, that they adjust and they adapt everything in their favour. So why wouldn't they do it with that as well? The sickness and the illness to thrive on the alive, which you and I and everyone has in them as sinners, we are also saints. That evil has to come from somewhere. And I think we're starting to learn exactly where it came from. So the Bible was altered upon the altar. And our history is his story. You see? Once your eyes are open, it's everywhere. So this is just my take, my view, my observations, and the clues that I have picked up in my studies. It's just something for you to wonder and ponder over. So, in conclusion, I'll leave you with this. The parasitic consciousness released by the unholy trinity, Satan, Lilith, and Eve, is the rot within nature that turns nature upon itself, including us, and does it again and again and again and again. Off, on, off, on. That's the AI. It has injected evil into the roots, into the veins of the earth, causing us to bleed the oil from the ground, so that the only thing that swims through them is it. It's made our world terminal. It's Mother Nature / Mother Science. You see, the dead dandelions, they've learnt how to harness the weather, how to realign the viruses, how to splice the animals, how to mix the venom. They are concocting a cocktail of natural selection and scientific perfection. It is the most dangerous pact of an evil exact. So that's all I have to say for now. I hope you've enjoyed this lecture. And please, if you have any questions or theories of your own, I would love to read them and hopefully answer some of them. Thank you very much. Stay safe. And fly free.